Okay, students, we're going to look at Chapter 1, Section 2. We normally don't take notes on notebook paper, but we are today. The title of the chapter is simply Ratios. This is Chapter 1, Section 2. Okay, so our I can statement, I can write a ratio in simplest form. I can write a ratio in simplest form. All right, I want to make sure you guys understand the definition of ratio. A ratio is a comparison of two amounts or quantities. And really the simple word for amounts or quantities is numbers. All right, we have to draw a table and then we're going to use that table to understand ratios. All right, so let's draw our table. We're going to just kind of use something super simple. We're going to talk about bears, like gummy bears. You guys feel free to stop the video to get everything written. So here we are going to list the colors and here we're going to list the number. So we have yellow gummy bears and we have 9 of those. We have blue gummy bears and we have 8 of those. Green gummy bears and we have 4 of those. And we have red gummy bears and we have 6 of those. Okay, always and every single time when you're looking at a ratio, I always want you to get the total. So you're going to add 9 plus 8 plus 4 plus 6. And your total for all gummy bears is 27. Okay, we're going to talk about the relationship when it comes to ratio. So draw this table. We're talking about relationship. The 3 relationships are called part to whole. Whole meaning total number of whatever the item is. In this case, the whole is the total number of gummy bears. We also have the relationship whole to part. And then lastly, we have part to part. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at under the relationship part to whole, by the way, this is very similar to a fraction. A fraction is part to whole. Okay, so we're going to look at the ratio of blue bears to all bears. So this is how we are going to write this ratio. I want you to write the words blue to all. It has to be in that order. You cannot change the order. this is written ratio of blue to all in that order. You cannot change the order and say all to blue. This is the question. This is how you have to write it. So how many blue bears, let's lower this. How many blue bears are there? There are 8. Rewrite the word TO. And then how many total bears are there? 27. You can write a ratio 3 ways. You can write it with the word to. You can write it with a colon. And truly you would read that 8 to 27. 8 TO 27. Or it can be written so that it looks like a fraction. That ratio is 8 to 27. You would not say 8/27. That's a fraction. A ratio would be read 8 to 27. Okay, in this relationship we have whole to part. Okay, so what is the ratio of all bears to blue bears? Well, now we change the order because that's the question. What is the ratio of all bears to blue bears? So we have all, that comes first, to blue, that comes second. All right, so there are 27 total bears and there are 8 blue. So you would literally write this ratio 27 to 8. And then you can also write it with a colon. You can write it 27 colon 8. 27 to 8. And then lastly, 27 to 8. Now normally, when you see what you think is an improper fraction, you divide. But when you're talking about ratios, leave it. Leave it 27 to 8. All right, let's look at one more example. Ratio of yellow bears to green bears. Okay, so we literally have to keep it in this order. We're comparing yellow to green. Well, how many yellow bears are there? So I look at my table, there's 9. How many green bears are there? Green's right here. 9 to 4. We can write it with a colon, 9 to 4, or we can